2012. As a matter of fact, a very, very important video that has sort of upset the entire world. And Dr. LMadu has given us some real information in reference to this whole affair. Let's pick up where we left off, Dr. LMadu.
Like I said, when Kony, started his rebellion, he was, in a way, indirectly or directly supported by the Acholi people, because they felt they were under siege. Most of the soldiers who were purged by Yoweri Museveni, rallied around Joseph Kony and his army. Initially, they were, the Ugandan army was scared of Joseph Kony's army because they were reputed to, rub some kind of magical, perfume on themselves that is, very bullet resistant. But gradually, they knew that wasn't working. So initially, like I said, they had the support of the Acholi people. But gradually, Joseph Kony started, losing the support of the people. Now, Museveni undercut Kony in a way. He appointed a lady called Miss Bigombe, who is an Acholi herself, to act as an intermediary between the Ugandan government and Joseph Kony. So after several attempts by Miss Bigombe to meet with Kony and talk and got frustrated, then she told the Acholi people, say, well, hey, I'm tired of trying to talk to Kony. All of you should get your bows and arrows and guns and, protect yourself against him. So Kony got angry because of that.
The statements that he made.
Exactly, yeah, got angry and then turned his air on his own Acholi people. That's when he started this scorched-earth policy of burning and raping and looting and kidnapping children and all that. Now he's thinking about those children is to remake those children as the new Acholi, man or Acholi woman.
He's going to
exactly
create an entirely new ethnic group.
Exactly, create a new Acholi man or Acholi woman. Just like Hitler wanted to create a new German person, or Pol Pot wanted to create a new Cambodian, those kind of things. So that's what Joseph Kony started doing. Now the question is, who is supporting Joseph Kony? Now, during the war in South Sudan, Yoweri Museveni was close to the Sudanese People's Liberation Army and John Garang, their leader. So he was supporting their fight against the government of General Hassan Omar Bashir in Khartoum, in Sudan. So in order to pay back Museveni, General Bashir's Sudanese government started aiding, training Joseph Kony, supplying Joseph Kony with arms, money and all that to continue to destabilize Uganda. Up to today, even though the situation has calmed down, the Sudanese government still, in a way, aids Joseph
involved
Kony.
in Uganda to such an extent that undermines Uganda.
Exactly, to undermine Museveni. Initially, it wasn't that way. But then Bashir saw that opportunity to use Joseph Kony to keep pressure on Museveni because of his support to the Sudanese People's Liberation Army and John Garang. So what is happening now is that after the Ugandan government, with the support of American Special Forces, have succeeded in neutralizing Joseph Kony in most parts of Uganda, he has spread his terror to Central African Republic, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, even parts of South Sudan. And don't forget that Kony has a ready-made, a haven in South Sudan, because in Uganda you have the Acholi. In South Sudan you also have Acholi. Okay, two peoples
right across the border
right across each other. So Kony can move to Sudan and fit in, with the Acholi there. He can move back to Uganda. Exactly. So, and that's what was happening. His own fellow ethnic people who live in Sudan were also sheltering him and bothering him. And the way African borders are, tribes cross each other. So that gave Joseph Kony a ready-made heaven to operate from. Now, the question is this: how can you stop, what is happening now? Several attempts have been made, to capture Joseph Kony, proved impossible, because at times most people don't even know what he looks like now to start capturing him. In fact, you can compare Joseph Kony to the former leader of the Taliban, whom nobody actually knows what he looks like, even though people know he has one eye, but nobody actually, can tell you if he's walking down the street. So Kony has carefully avoided being pictured, all that, so that people don't know exactly what he looks like. And he's still moving around with the protection of, the government of General, Omar Bashir. Now, some of them have become Muslims, quote, just to get money from Bashir. Even though, Kony says he wants to impose, a Christian government in Uganda. Even in this country, some people fell for that. You can, on Rush Limbaugh's, show. Yeah, he talked about, why is the American government going over there to suppress Christians who are fighting to, install a Christian regime in Uganda without knowing exactly what the real story is. Now, when he found out the true story, he changed, his tune. So that's the basis of what is going on now. Now, a few weeks ago, we had this movie, about invincible children in Uganda. Now, what people don't understand is that this problem has been going on since 1987, up till now. But this is the first time, somebody, exposed it completely, so that even the average person, can see what is happening there. Because most of the time, things happening in Africa are never taken seriously or in the press, unless it's kind of catastrophic, where you can't hide it anymore, like in Rwanda or so. And that's what is happening now. President Obama signed, a law, to deal with Joseph Kony, which necessitated sending about 100 special forces to Uganda. The National Criminal Court also indicted Joseph Kony in 2005, just the same way they indicted General Bashir, president of Sudan. Whether they can bring him to court is a different matter altogether. But all attempts to capture him has proved very abortive. My instinct is that he will either eventually be captured, killed, or he might kill himself rather than,
be captured.
Rather than be captured. And that's the basis of what is going on there. Now, one has to understand the context of Ugandan ethnic politics in order to be able to appreciate
the whole situation in reference.
The whole situation in reference to Joseph Kony. He wasn't just a madman who came out from nowhere and started slaughtering.
There's somebody behind him.
There's somebody behind him, and there was some.
And of course, Dr. LMadu, let's take this commercial break, and then we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.